People ask me about royal Christmases. What's it like? Now, honestly, truthfully, you and I can tell you, yes, you might be shocked. I've never been invited. I have been on the Christmas morning lineup working for news channels at the time where, the royals go and come back on their way to church. And it is one of those nice mornings, whatever people say, they're derogatory, but, it's not. It's kind of good fun. Of course, you always get the opportunists, don't you, that take those pictures who then try and sell them onto newspapers for colossal amounts of money. Certain people have, I'm sure you know which ones I mean, over the years. But really, it's a respectful sort of family going to church. People are very nice. There's a bit of a camaraderie behind the scenes, from all the reporters and all the people that are there. Mince pies are shared, flasks are brought out. You can imagine my sort of day. But what's interesting now is this particular year, Christmas year, is going to be radically different at Sandringham. Not simply because, of course, for the very first time, Camilla's children and grandchildren will be in attendance, but Her Majesty the Queen, had a lot of very set rules that she liked to stick to. And obviously, she'd been on the throne for 70 years. She did things by the book, literally everything at the same time every year, whether she was going to Balmoral, Sandringham, Windsor. Everybody kind of knew the Queen's diary, apart from, of course, international tours, you can imagine. But what's interesting this year is King Charles has decided to truly relax the rules, apart from one thing. Let me explain. You see, while, of course, before, once you were at the dinner table or, the breakfast table, whatever, you could not leave the table until Her Majesty the Queen had left. That was the rule. Once she'd finished eating, you had to stop eating, and then the plates could be cleared. Didn't matter if you were halfway through that Bakewell slice with a bit of hot custard, it's gone. You see, that's how it worked. Now, King Charles wants to do things slightly differently, and if you want to excuse yourself from the table and literally go to bed early or whatever, he wouldn't mind. That's the other side of the coin. Other things are this: when the Queen was in attendance, say for the Christmas festive period, she would let it be known what she was going to be wearing, so all the ladies wouldn't be clashing with Her Majesty. Camilla, not that bothered. Apparently, if she's clashing with someone, she's more than happy to trot back upstairs and find another frock to slip in. I know, it's kind of nice, isn't it? The one thing that really will be staying, of course, is the wacky, fun presents. The odd things that they get each other, the ones I'm talking about. What I also find fascinating, though, is this. There's the one thing, the games. Now, Her Majesty the Queen liked to play charades. She thought this was hilarious. And she also liked, things like the TV programme Give Us a Clue. Remember that with Lionel Blair? But the one deal breaker still remains under the reign of King Charles over at Sandringham, and it's this: you're not allowed to play Monopoly. This is, of course, that wonderful game that sees a lot of family arguments, as you can imagine, over the years. Simply because, apparently, when it was once played way back during the very early reign of Her Majesty the Queen, apparently she had to step in and stop something of a bit of a fallout. So you can understand, even in her eyes, why it's not going to be happening again. The particular festive season will be radically different for His Majesty the King. And let's not forget, as Princess Anne recently said in a documentary which will be aired over here in the United Kingdom, it's still very raw, the fact that Her Majesty is gone. We think about her all the time in everything that we say, we do, and we think, and more importantly, how we act in public. It's refreshing, isn't it, to hear that from someone of such stature. But more importantly, while people do attack His Majesty the King many times, let's not forget it's taken him a long time to acclimatise to the fact that he truly does, like everybody out there, miss their mum once they're gone. He is no different after all. Thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to exactly what do the royals get up to for Christmas. Now, tell me, what do you get up to for Christmas? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.